small a, big A, on the letter A. You'll see that. Hi teachers, this video is about the new VIPKid Interactive Level 1. And let me clarify really quickly before we dive in, this is the new interactive level. It was begun in the summer of 2020. Right now it's fall 2020. I've taught a ton of these and I love them. They're very different from the old level 1. And I have a video about the old level 1. If you're still teaching the old version, it's still happening. They're happening simultaneously. Go to that video. They have kind of different tips for that. This new interactive level is very different. I'll link that in the description. Go check that out if you're teaching the old level 1. The old level 1 is like the different countries, like Mexico, Peru, Mongolia, blah, blah, blah. This is totally different. Okay, so let's dive into interactive level 1. So this is a new kind of lesson, and in my personal opinion, I think they're doing this to compete with some of the other companies. I also teach for GOGOKID, and this reminds me so much of a GOGOKID lesson. It's like a game. It's like you're playing a video game with the kid. And at first it kind of annoyed me, I'm going to be honest, because the kid can click all these different things. There's lots of color and movement and music, and it kind of just was too much for me at first, but now I've really gotten used to it and the kids love it and they really do learn a lot. And I also do kind of prefer it now to the old level 1, because the old level 1, though I love the like different countries, there's so much random vocabulary in that level that you didn't need to teach. Like, do kids really need to know Haka dance from New Zealand? Probably not. I don't know. I think it's more important they learn letters and numbers and shapes and colors. So level 1 is very basic. So I'm going to give you 3 do's and 3 don'ts of level 1. Let's start with the do's. Number 1, it is, like I said, a game, and it's very basic. So my first do is stretch it out. Every slide is like one word. Like I just taught a lesson and it was the apple, banana, kiwi, orange lesson about fruits. And those 4 words are all you teach the whole 25 minutes. And it gets kind of like, okay, but here's the thing. You're going to get students who literally have never said the word apple. And then you're going to get students who have practiced a ton and are ready. And so what I mean by stretch it out is you need to find the level of your student and meet them at their level. If they've never said apple, then you're going to stretch it out by saying apple, you know, like that. If they are ready, then you're going to say 1 apple, 1 red apple. I see 1 red apple. You're going to stretch it out by making sentences. So really start to pay attention to the level of your student and meet them where they're at and stretch it out. Just a side tip here with the stretch it out do is keep an eye on the clock. This is a kind of level, especially if you're used to teaching like the other levels, you can easily fly through the slides because you're like, oh, they got it, let's move on. Oh, they got it, let's move on. Keep an eye on the clock and keep an eye on what slide you're on. I like to keep them very similar. So if I'm at minute 8, I like to be at slide 8 or so. That'll keep you kind of pacing well. Okay, so the first do is stretch it out. The second do is do work on those introductions. So by introductions, what I mean is right when you see the student, say, hi, my name is Teacher Laura. What is your name? A lot of these students don't know how to say that yet. They don't know how to say, my name is Bow Wow. They don't know how to say, I am 3 years old. So work on those and do the same pattern over and over and over. Make sure they can say their name first. Then say, my name is, or I am Bow Wow. Then work on their age. I am 3. Maybe show a birthday cake or something so that they understand that. And then work on, how are you? I'm happy. I'm sad. They'll always say happy. But I always use this. It's just a little feelings chart. Happy, fine, sad. All right, something like that. All right, so work on those introductions. That is worth the time. So take your time, go slowly for that, because that will transfer to all the future levels. Okay, so your do's are stretch it out, work on the introductions, stretch it out, work on the introductions. And number 3, this is my last do for these kind of classes, focus on the songs. So almost every lesson so far that I've seen has at least 2 songs. It has like a content song, like the one I just had today was about counting. So numbers or shapes or fruits or colors or blah, 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 whatever it is, a content song. And then oftentimes they have a letter sound song. And I use this little flashcard. Make sure if you're going to teach level 1, you have flashcards with small and big, lowercase and capital. You'll need that because they have the song it's about halfway through the lesson. It goes small A, big A, on the letter A. You'll see that. So you'll want flashcards. Really focus in on the songs. Have the kids repeat back and forth. That's where you'll need, oh, so many props in level 1. You'll need a microphone. Back and forth and back and forth. Teach the kids how to sing line by line. It really fills out the lesson for one, and they like singing, and they really do learn by music. So focus on the songs. So the 3 do's are stretch it out, focus on introductions, focus on the songs. With that, your lessons will just fly by and go really well. Now here's some don'ts. First of all, don't assume anything. And what I mean by that is don't assume they know anything. Really try to put yourself back in the place of learning a new language for the first time and being clueless about what the person is saying. So really don't assume they know introductions. Don't assume they know colors. Don't assume they know counting, anything. And built into that tip is really dial back your incidental language. So really, really don't do any filler. Hello, I'm Teacher Laura. Let's go. Apple, banana. Don't do, this is an apple. What color is this apple? Let's see, what's next? Let's go to the next slide. No. Just keep it super, super basic. Super basic. Okay, so tip number 2 kind of goes with tip number 1. Keep it simple with the conversation. This is not the time to ask about their day. This is not the time to ask about their family. Just stick to the lesson and focus on the lesson, and you won't stress your students out. So that's my tip number 2. Don't worry about conversational English at this point. You're really teaching vocabulary. Make sure they know those vocabulary words. So number 1 is don't assume they know anything. Number 2, don't try to have conversations with them. Just focus on the lesson. Number 3 tip, this is one that I had to learn the hard way. Don't stress about the technology. So this level, more than any other level with VIPKid, has tons of technology happening. Tons of like interactive features, tons of songs. And one frustration I've had is that the songs don't load fast enough. I know I have strong internet. I know I have a great ping number. I know my internet is solid, but sometimes still, it doesn't load very well, and it drives me bonkers sometimes. So I purposefully have to remind myself, the students don't really care. They're not like sitting there like, that song didn't load right. They're just like happy to be on class, and they're watching you and they're taking their cues from you. So watch your face. Even if things like don't load properly, keep a smile on your face. And one trick I've done is when you flip to a song page, it takes a while to load. So then I use the tips side and I teach them the words to the song first, just speaking it back and forth and back and forth. And then we listen to the song and then we sing it back and forth. So they have a little extra practice while it loads. So those are my don'ts. Number 1, don't assume they know anything. Don't try to have long conversations with them, and don't stress about technology. So 3 do's, 3 don'ts. I hope that helps you with interactive level 1. It really is a fun level. I enjoy it very much. If you ever taught like the primary grades, like K2, you'll love these. Beware too, you will have like 3-year-olds in this class. I've had quite a few classes where the parent actually holds the child on their lap. So don't be like shy about being around the parent. The parent's just happy that their kid's learning English. And I hope you just really enjoy it. It's a great level. All right, teachers, talk to you later. Bye.